In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to help you destroy your biggest limiting belief forever. In this episode, I want to give you a $100,000 gift. Personally, I think it's worth way more than $100,000, but that's what my private clients pay me to help them eliminate their biggest limiting beliefs. But in the next few minutes, I'm going to help you transform the biggest limiting belief that's preventing you from more money, more joy, and more growth for free. Now, my team has conducted over 10,000 coaching conversations in the last few years. I've personally conducted over 2,000 coaching conversations in my life. And hands down, the biggest limiting belief, the most crippling limiting belief that there is the idea that we are not enough. And I'm going to take you through a very short process right here, right now. And by the end of this episode, the idea that you are not enough or that you aren't worthy is no longer going to make any sense to you. Now, I'll repeat that. In the next few minutes, I'm going to help you not just see, but actually experience that the idea that you aren't good enough makes absolutely no sense. And this limiting belief is by far the most devastating limiting belief, because feeling like we aren't enough or that we aren't worthy prevents us from having financial prosperity and abundance. It prevents us from attracting and being in healthy, intimate relationships. It prevents us from welcoming in health and well-being into our lives and keeps us in sickness and chronic disease. It even prevents us from seeing clearly the purpose that we are meant to fulfill in this life, because the brain is a goal-achieving machine. And as long as you believe that you aren't enough, then all of the things that you want in your life will keep just far enough out of your reach so that when you look at your life, you'll say, see, I knew it, I'm not enough. So there's nothing you need to do in this process. That's why it's so powerful. All you need to do is listen to what I'm sharing with you and to play along in your head, okay? I'm going to ask you some questions, ask you to bring some things to mind, and all you have to do is be willing to go along with it. It's that simple. So I want you to start by telling me what you mean by not enough, or what you mean by not being worthy. All right? What does that mean to you? I want you to pretend that I'm from another planet and I came here to Earth and you were explaining to me how it works here on Earth and explaining to me that you aren't worthy or that you aren't enough. Okay? What do you mean? Go ahead, explain it to me. Is it that you don't have more money? Is it that you aren't as successful as you should be, or that other people are more successful than you? Is it that you should be further along than where you are? Is it that you didn't graduate with a college degree? All right, I'm going to be quiet for just a second, and you explain to me why you aren't enough or why you aren't worthy. Go ahead. Okay? Now I want you to explain to me what it means to be worthy or what it means to be enough. Okay? This is your definition. Remember, I came down here from Mars. We don't have this thing called unworthy or not enough on my planet, so I'm fascinated by this. What do you need to do in order to be worthy or in order to be enough? Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Do you need to have some fame? Do you have to have a certain number of social media followers? Do you need to get paid more money in your job? Is that worthy and enough? Maybe have more revenue in your business or have your own business? Do you need to drink less or do less drugs? Is that what makes you worthy or good enough? Do you have to be a perfect person? Maybe a better husband or a better wife or a better partner? Or do you need to have a partner? So explain to me how this good enough thing, this worthiness, works according to you. Okay, I'll wait. Really explain it to me. This is important. Okay, this is the only thing you need to do to play the game with me. In your head, explain to me what you need to do in order to become worthy or good enough. Okay, got it. So maybe there's more, but so far that's your definition of enough or being worthy. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you have a son or a daughter? Okay, if yes, bring them to mind. And if no, do you have a pet? Or have you ever had a pet that you loved? Okay, if so, bring them to mind. And no child, no pet, no problem. I want you to think about someone that is so amazing in your life. Okay, a friend, a mentor, a coworker, a boss, someone from church, yoga class, whatever. Bring them to mind. Someone who you just think is fantastic, okay? Hey, it's David. Quick announcement before we get back to your episode. Our annual event, the Powerful Living Experience, is coming up. There's a link in the show notes, or you can visit powerfullivingexperience.com. Check out the video of last year's event. We're going to be bringing together 1,000 impact-driven entrepreneurs, leaders, and game changers to spend 3 days doing what matters most. Going really, really deep on identifying the limiting beliefs and subconscious programs that are still preventing you from your full potential, and going through deep experientials and trainings and transforming them. We're also going to be getting into concepts like wealth creation, purpose, greatness, money, relationships, health. And if you're an entrepreneur, we're going to be spending about 20% of that event opening up my business playbook, the same strategies and tactics and techniques that we use to go from $0 to $30 million in an impact-driven business, while spending 90% of my time doing what I love. There's nothing like the Powerful Living Experience. Inc. named it a top 3 must-attend personal development event for entrepreneurs and leaders, and I want to see you there. We've got some discounted tickets right now, plus some additional bonuses. Again, all the information is in the link in the show notes, or you can jump on over to powerfullivingexperience.com, get registered, and I will plan on seeing you there along with 1,000 other impact-driven, incredible members of our community for 3 days that you will never forget. And now, back to your regularly scheduled episode. You holding that image of this person or this furry friend? Cool. So let me ask you a question. Are they worthy? Are they good enough? Do they matter? Are they enough? Right. Yes. Of course they are. It's almost a silly question, isn't it? Your kid, your furry friend, your real world friend, of course they're good enough. Okay, so let me ask you another question. Is there anything that you could add to them or that they could do to make themselves more good enough? Like, can they get even better, even more worthy? Like if they had more money or more success or more fame, or they were smarter or more athletic, or they had more skills, if they were skinnier or prettier, would they be more good enough? More worthy? I know it's a silly question, right? Of course not. They're just worthy. They are enough. Okay, got it. But what if you took something away from them? What if they had less money, worse grades, less friends, less smart, less skinny, less cute? Would they be less enough? Would they become not enough? Or would they become less worthy? I want you to think about it for a second. No. They wouldn't become less worthy, would they? Why? Because they're just worthy. They're just worthy because they are, right? I want you to think about nature for a minute. Just bring nature to mind. The trees, the squirrels, the rivers, the mountains. Are some of them worthier than others? Are some of them more than one another? One squirrel better than another? Is the oak tree better than the squirrel? One more worthy, one less worthy? Well, this is interesting, isn't it? Seems like everything out there is worthy. is good enough? Does needing to be good enough kick in at a certain age, like you're good enough until you're 18, but now you're an adult, so not enough kicks in and you have to prove your worthiness, play by a different set of rules? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. So what about you? Tell me again how you're not worthy. Tell me again how you're not enough. Go on. Explain it to me. Help me understand how it makes sense. Dave from Mars. Tell me again how not enough works on your planet. That's so interesting, isn't it? So what about you? Are you good enough? Are you worthy? Yes. Of course you are. You always have been. Someone, somewhere, came up with this idea that they weren't, and they taught it to you. But it's a silly idea. You've always been enough. And you are right now, aren't you? There's nothing we could add to you. Nothing we could take away. So here's the deal. Right now, you get it. But you'll forget. Because not enough is a habit. Not worthy. It's a habit. But habits can change, and it doesn't have to be hard. So the next time you notice yourself telling yourself that you aren't worthy or you aren't enough, just stop. Think about that person or that pet. Take a look at the trees and the flowers and the birds. Just take a moment to break the habit and reconnect with what's real. That you've always been enough. You are enough. And you'll always be enough. Nothing we can add. Nothing we can take away. Every time you forget, it's okay. Because when you remember, you're strengthening that belief inside of you that you are worthy. And nobody and nothing can ever take that away from you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, it's David. Hop on over to davidbear.com. Click right here. There's also a link in the show notes, and sign up for our newsletter. You'll get immediate access to my free Mind Hack ebook, as well as a couple of trainings to help you master the inner game. This is a great way to stay informed and be a part of our community and be notified of special announcements. Click below, head on over to the website, get subscribed. If you loved this video, make sure you check out this one or this one, and I will see you in the next video.